Hello, it's me, Barbalicious. How you guys doing? I am going to do homemade pasta tonight. So I've got 4 cups of flour in here. And I'm gonna add my eggs. I'm gonna add 3 eggs to it. So it's 4 cups of flour to 3 eggs. And I'm just gonna start with that. And then if I have to add another egg, or you can just add water to it too, you don't have to add more eggs. And you just slowly go around in a circle, adding the flour in without busting your little hole here. So I'm just gonna work it in, and then once I get like a good thing going, then I'll start folding it in, mixing it up. And I'm gonna form it into a ball of dough like you would when you're doing dough. So I can already tell I don't have enough. And it's different each, like I find like usually it's roughly about 2 eggs, like an egg per cup. And I added 4 cups, so I should have did 4 eggs, but I thought maybe I could get away with just 3, but I'll grab another egg. Or you can just add water to it too, you don't have to add another egg. Water would work too. Whatever, sometimes I add a little bit more water, like add a little bit of water after I've added the proper amount of eggs. So, just quickly add another one. And keep mixing it up. Making a big mess, but eventually you'll form a ball. And see, and I've added, I still need a little bit more in it, but instead of adding more eggs, I'm just going to add water to it. I'm going to combine it with the water here, so I'll just grab some water. I'm not well organized tonight like I usually am, but life goes on. So I just add it, make a little hole, and then I slowly just add little bit by little bit. You don't want to add too much because then you have to add more flour. So just keep adding. Just usually like adding about 2 tablespoons each time. And I can feel like it sticky. Another couple tablespoons. And as for how much like I'm feeding tonight, there'll be 5 of us. So I did 4 cups of flour. I'm just kind of guessing that maybe that might be enough for spaghetti for tonight. But it doesn't go bad if I have too much, because someone will eat the leftovers, but I want to make sure I have enough. But as for how much you need per person, that part I don't know when it comes to making this. I am not. I haven't made it enough to know roughly how many cups to feed so many people. I usually do 2 to 3 cups when it's just the 4 of us. But I don't usually eat too much of the pasta. So that part I don't know what to do. So I'm just almost got it here. A little bit of work. You can do this, like I'm doing this, it's like 4:15, and I'm starting to make my pasta here now. But this you can do early in the morning, and then you just wrap it in saran wrap and let it sit for a bit or whatever. Like, you don't have to do it like just before you eat. It's just I was busy today, so I'm doing this now, which usually I do it earlier in the morning and then I just have it ready. So then all I have to do is roll it out in the machine, in the pasta machine. Okay, so now I've got it and it's a little bit too sticky. I added a little bit too much. I've got a little bit of flour here. I'm just gonna add a little bit to it. You need extra flour anyways, because when you start rolling it out, you have to add flour so it doesn't stick to each other, or it doesn't dry out and stuff. So you just knead this a little bit to get it to form into a nice ball. And you don't want it to be sticky. You want it to be like pizza dough. It's kind of thick, it's just like what you want it to be. You don't want it to be sticky. And this is pretty good. So I'm happy with this. A little bit. Just a little bit more. Roll it around in the flour here. Just a little bit. There. So I'm going to let this sit for about 15-20 minutes. Just going to sit it right here. That's all you have to do. You wrap it in saran wrap and leave it on the counter like all day. I'm just going to let it sit there for about 15-20 minutes. And meanwhile, I'm going to start on my pizza sauce. So I will clean up my mess here and get that set up, and then I'll show you how to do my pizza sauce. Okay, so I'm back. I've got all my supplies now because I'm going to make my sauce. And I've been using my electric frying pan a little bit more than what I usually do, just because it's easier to use when I'm doing these kind of videos. But you don't have to use an electric frying pan. You can use whatever frying pan you want. But I'm just using my electric frying pan. So for my sauce, I like to put in some onion. And this is my spaghetti sauce. This is what I use. So I use about 1/4 of an onion. I'm going to turn this on. Add a bit of oil to the bottom of it. And then I just roughly chop it. Give it a minute here to heat up. And I can add my onion to that. And then I got some diced tomato. And I'm going to add to it, I got some tomato paste that I will add to it too. And then my seasonings are Italian, oregano, basil, onion powder, marjoram, this stuff here. Don't know how to say it, but I put it in there. And so I got garlic clove and garlic powder. I kind of do both sometimes. So it is 4:30 right now. So I'm starting my sauce because I like it to sit and get some flavors to it. So I'm just going to put the onion in. I'm just going to start doing this until it gets like translucent a little bit, like a couple minutes. And then you get ready and you can add either garlic, but you don't want to add it too soon because it'll burn it. So I want to wait until just before, just when the onions get translucent, and then I'll add it, because then right after that I'll add the sauces and stuff, so then it doesn't go bad. Grab a sip of water here. So got that going, and I'm happy. I can smell it. You can smell the onions cooking. Pretty good. Yummy, yummy. So I'm going to add about a spoonful of garlic to that. And give that a little spinny do. You can smell the garlic now. So then I'm going to take my tomato paste, add it to here. And you're just going to let it stir in here for a few minutes and get heat it up like that. And when you add the tomatoes and you let it sit and you cook it like this for a little bit, it caramelizes it a little bit and lets out flavor. So it's like a rich kind of flavor. Really good. So, do this for a few minutes. Keep stirring it because it sticks to the bottom of the pan and stuff, so I just keep stirring it around. And then I will add my diced tomatoes, like so. And then if you want to add water to it, you can, to get it more liquidy. Or you can add tomato soup to it too, depending on, you know, what area you want to go. I'm going to do the water root. So I'll just, because you added that can of tomato paste, which is about 8 ounces. So if you want to do roughly a cup to another, like a cup to a cup and a half of water, you can. And that'll thin it out. So I just let this cook for a little bit. And then, okay, now I'm going to start adding my seasonings. Now I'm going to confuse you and get you, because I don't measure my seasonings out. I just, and I taste as I go until I get to the flavor that I like. This Morangen or whatever, I don't usually add too much of it. So just, what I do is, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do, to cover all of it. So how much that is. I just sprinkle it on and it covers the whole top of the tomato. Now, the girls are home, Bill's going crazy. So this is Italian seasoning. I will do, so it's like really green. Okay, you can see that, it looks really green. That's an Italian. Same with the oregano, I put the same amount in. Lots of it. Cover the whole thing so it's very greeny. Basil, you can start smelling it now. Basil, I probably do as much as what I did the Morange kind, not that much. And then I will add some onion powder to this, just a little bit. Just cover the top. So that's where I'm going to start. And I'm usually going to add in either more Italian or more oregano. These other ones I kind of stay away from now. So I give this a stir. Give it a mixy. And I can smell, it smells really good. And so I'm just going to do this here for a few minutes. I'll grab a spoon, and grab a couple spoons, because this is where you start tasting. Now you can add, I add Parmesan cheese to this too, but I'll do it like closer to service, closer to when I'm ready to eat. So I'll give it a taste. And it's almost like it needs salt. So I'm going to add some garlic powder to it now. It doesn't help that I had a mint just before I went to taste this, so that's not a good thing either. So, I'll give it another taste here. And basically all I'm doing is just like that much on my spoon. I'm just tasting it. Yeah, it needs salt. Needs some salt. So add some salt to it. And this is what I mean. You do it till you like it, right? Don't go by what I like. And then after a while, once it sits too, you're gonna probably add more stuff to it, like more seasoning to it too. So that's a little better. So now I'm just gonna let this simmer. So I'm just gonna spread it out. I'm gonna turn this down so it'll just simmer and let it do its thing. It's gonna cook now. So I'm at 440. So I'm going to let this sit here and do its thing for until about 5 o'clock, and I'll just come by and stir it occasionally, and I'll just let it go for about 20 minutes here. And I'll clean up and come back with another project. Okay, so I'm back, and I've decided I'm going to do some tea biscuits to go along with my spaghetti tonight. So I've got 2 cups of flour in my bowl. I'm gonna add 4 teaspoons of baking powder. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's 1 teaspoon of salt, and I usually just measure it out in the palm of my hand. Just a little bit like that. It's about a teaspoon. Give or take a little bit, not a big deal. A 1/4 cup of butter. This here, I just like a big heaping spoon because of the fact that I am adding cheese to this, so you don't need as much butter. You limit the butter. And then it calls for a cup of milk. So you can either use milk or water. Doesn't matter, either or. So there's that. And then I've grated some cheese. I'm going to add that in there. Like so. And then I'm going to add the garlic, some garlic powder. A couple tablespoons. So then it'll be like a garlicky cheese biscuit. And then I just take my good old faithful hand and you mix it. So what you do with the cheese biscuits is you only mix it till it's just combined. Don't over mix it because that's how you get really stiff tea biscuits. So you want nice soft little tea biscuits. So I just do it until the flour is combined, which is pretty much there. Pick up the stuff that's on the bottom. So there, that's it. That's all that's to it. Here you go. Biscuits are done. And right now it is like 10 to 5. So I'm doing all this as this is all cooking. So get that. And I will just move this out of the way quickly. And I've got my cookie sheet here. I've got my oven preheated at 450. And it takes about 12 to 15 minutes. And I've got my cookie sheet. I put parchment paper down. Got my handy little scooper here. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be 2 scoops per biscuit. So that's all I do is I pile on the 2 balls, put it on there like that. That's all you got to do. So you do 1 ball, 2 ball. Just kind of form it a little bit, not too much. Put it on the thing. So I'll finish with this, put them in the oven, set my timer, and then I will come back and show you what I'm going to do next. Okay, so it is now like 10 to, sort of. I've got my things in, my tea biscuits are in. I'm just going to taste the sauce now because it's been going. And it's thickened up quite a bit now, like it's really thick. Yeah, I like the taste of it. Now, this is when you want to add, if you want to add ground beef to it or whatever, now's the time. So, got some ground beef in here. I'm just going to add this to it. And then it'll cook in with the sauce, so then the sauce will be yummy. You could make meatballs if you wanted. I think that's what I was supposed to do, but oh well. We'll do it like this. But if you wanted to form meatballs and then just have your meatballs soaked in this sauce, and it'll cook in there, and that's good too. But so if you're gonna make meatballs, you just do like what you do your hamburger meat. I would just add an egg to it, a little bit of breadcrumbs, and then you can add your seasonings, whatever seasonings you want. And then you just form into little balls and just stick them in this liquid sauce here, and away you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the meat, kind of combine it in here. It's a little thick for my liking, so I'm going to add a little bit more water to this. Or this is when you can decide, no, you know what, I'm going to add tomato soup. So I'm just going to add gonna add a little bit more water to this, just to thin it out. Put another half a cup. Like I said, you want to, like from the beginning I said you want to add about a cup. So I had it a half a cup at the beginning, and now I'm adding another half a cup. So I'm just gonna let this sit and do its thing. And it's gonna cook the meat, like right in the sauce. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a quick little salad here, which you don't need to watch me do that because everybody knows how to do a salad. So that's what I'm gonna do right now while my sauce is doing its thing. I'm gonna quickly make this salad because I'm waiting for my tea biscuits because they take about 15 minutes to cook. But once I start rolling out my pasta, I don't want to get interrupted in having to go check on my tea biscuits. So I'm kind of wasting time doing other projects for supper instead of rolling out my pasta right now. So I got my sauce, my meat sauce is going. That's going, so I'm going to do a quick little salad here and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I added some ricotta cheese to my meat sauce, and I added some grated Parmesan cheese to it too. So that's my finished sauce. I'm just gonna roll out my pasta, my spaghetti, cook it up, throw it in here, mix it, and we're ready to eat. So, and I'll show you what the plate looks like afterwards. Here's the aftermath. Smorgasbord.